Hi all, and welcome back to the John Deere B tractor restoration. Just another update, and as you can see from that shot, we have electric lights. I got the wiring finished the other night, and as you can see, yes, the lights do work. Both the front ones, and we have one on the back here with its little red pearl light, or red jewel light, I believe it's called. Red jewel light. Whether that red jewel light is correct for this age of tractor, I'm not too sure. Certainly in the parts book for this model, it doesn't show the red jewel light. I think the red jewel light came onto the latter series of the Model B. But anyway, I put one on. Looks quite good. And so yeah, so we've got electric lights. The lights work on the obviously on the on this on dashboard light as well. The lights work on the on this pull switch. So in normal running, driving down the road or working, you would have it in that position. When you notice that your battery is on a slight discharge and you wish to just give it a slight charge, you would pull it onto that position, which would produce the dynamo, to bring the dynamo in and slightly charge the battery. And then when you're running with your lights on, you bring it into the final position, pulled right out, and that obviously brings the lights on, and the dynamo, effectively, for the way I understand it, is running your lights as well. So that's in the heavy charge position, midway, and that is in general just running position. Yeah, so as we are with that. Oh, excuse me, can't get rid of this cough. So I'm going to just pull the battery off now and give you a closer look of the wiring in the back of the dashboard. It actually went together fairly easily. I managed to understand the wiring diagram that was available and put it together. So we'll lift the battery out. Just put that somewhere out the way for now, which I did allow for. There we are, put it on the floor. So yeah, so there we go. Hang on a minute, we'll have a torch in there as well. A bit of light on the job. As you can see, the exhaust is now fitted, muffler, with its with the black pipe. So that's fitted. So yeah, so I hope we can sort of see some wiring here. So there's the three-way switch here. Now if I recall, one wire, this bottom wire, comes from the dynamo. This wire is the wire that actually fires the lights up, and that is the wire that feeds the lights. This big heavy wire also comes from the dynamo via the ammeter. That's the back of the ammeter there, down there. Yeah, so it's all fairly simple sort of things. The cable to the dynamo is at the moment just laid loosely here on top of the engine. I haven't connected it up yet because I know the cable has to go through a conduit when the bonnet goes on, and I don't want to connect it up yet until it's in that conduit. and obviously it isn't going to be laid across the top of the governor arm. It has to be routed round, as well as the temperature gauge cable. So yep. So now there's obviously something that has to go on here for the battery to sit on. I think it's meant to be a bit of thick rubber. Now I don't know if I've got any thick rubber. I'm certainly not going to go out and buy any for what it is. So if I can find a nice piece of wood, I'll make a wooden piece that go on there and paint it green. Put it on there and the battery will sit on top of that, and that will protect the bottom of the battery. Now I've used some thinned down bolts, as you can see here, which are going to be my battery clamps. In all the pictures that I've seen of these, they do seem to have a very similar sort of setup. And there's an angle iron frame which will go around the top of the battery, these will pull down and clamp down. So yeah, so fairly simple. There's one there already fitted, as you can see. Split pin in the bottom just to stop it dropping away, and there'll be another one in that hole there. There's a comment made regarding engine breathers. This is the engine breather here. Hang on, let me get the torch on it. I think John Miller. Hi John. He commented that he thought there should be. Well, I'm not too sure what John was meaning actually. He seemed to think there should possibly be something on top of the engine vent. But I'm thinking John's maybe thinking there should be a cover here with a tube on it and a mushroom on the top. I don't think there's anything going to go on top of the vent here. Well, I could be wrong. But looking at the various books I have on these models, this system here is part of the early electrical start and lighting system. They used this small stubby little breather tube. You do see some pictures with a longer breather tube on that comes up to about this height. I'm not quite sure how it works because obviously it's going to foul the battery. But the ones with the tube on that screw onto the actual oil filler on here are for seem to be for the later down the series. That's how I read it anyway. Yeah, so that's that. I've got the clutch arm fitted. I think we mentioned that in the last video, and the actual activating rod. If I give it a sudden click, there we go. It is now connected to the engine, and then hopefully that's come out. Come on. There we go. It's all a bit stiff and new. And that's now, the pulley is now free, so the clutch is disengaged. Hopefully this weekend, I'm doing this on a Friday night. My good mate and friend coming down to help me with the case outside. I will get him to give me a hand to put the hood stroke bonnet on for the last time. So obviously it's going to be in this area. So I want to put one or two things on before I put the hood on. One of those things is I require to put the serial number tag back on. Now the old serial number tag is a little bit ropey. The holes have busted out, and so I've decided that I've got this new serial number. As most of you know, you can buy these things off the various places. So I got a new one, and my plan is, rightly or wrongly, I'm going to fasten the old one, so it still has it. I'm going to fasten the old one underneath the new one. And the new one will protect the old one. I will coat the old one in some, probably in a bit of wax, just to protect it. And so it's there for prosperity. And should the tractor ever be sold, well, if somebody wants to see the old tag, it's there underneath. The little screws that hold it on are quite easily removed if anybody should wish to do that. Although I hope I'm not going to be selling the tractor anytime soon. What else? Yeah, we fitted the compression cocks there. They're not new ones, they're old ones refurbished. I do the same trick with those as I do with the fuel tank tap. A bit of light grinding paste, just bed them back in, and generally 50% of the time it seems to work. Just trying to think what else is going on. Should look good once the hood's on. I'm looking forward to getting that put on. Oh yes, carburetor. Now, I'm a bit annoyed about the carburetor. If you recall, in a video quite some time ago, I repaired that carburetor. It had a broken stem on it. And anyway, so we repaired it. I thought it was all okay. And then the other week I thought, right, we'll have it shot blasted. Lightly shot blasted and painted. And unfortunately, when I shot blasted it, I hadn't totally cleaned it up the first time. And unfortunately, when I shot blasted it, I actually did discover there are several more holes rotted out in the stem inside. I tried to braze them up, but the casting has gone quite rotten. It's gone very sort of porous, and so it wouldn't work. So I'm getting a fresh core sent over from the States, and we will rebuild that one, and hopefully it'll be a better carburetor. Which is a shame, because I wanted to see if my original stem repair was going to be of any success. But as I say, it's quite rotten, and there's holes in it, so there we go. Yeah, so that's that. We've got the tube there up to the air cleaner. I have the rubber tube on the workshop bench which connects these two bits. So that's there ready to go on. The engine vent pipe here, this little one, it's all connected up, but obviously if I've got to redo another carburetor there, will have to be loosened off. I've put the carburetor on for now, because once the hood's on I can then get the pipes made to pipe it all up, using this as a obviously as a slave, so I can get the pipes made to the correct length, etc. So yeah, so that's that. As I say, this main cable to the dynamo, this black one, is to reroute. It's just seeing where it's to reroute when the hood is fixed to the tractor. And then I will polarise the dynamo as well, which I'll show the method that I know of how to do it. You can see the cables are clamped there with the clamp. So you've got your temperature, your main feed cable from off the top of the starter motor, which goes on there, and oil pipe. You've got the rear light cable running down the bottom here. Now I wasn't too sure, to be fair, I wasn't too sure how this cable runs underneath the foot platform. So I'll just use a couple of copper rivets and a couple of clamps and clamp the cable underneath. At least it's out the way and shouldn't get damaged. So yeah, so there we go. A little step further on. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the way it's starting to turn out. Yeah. So, okay then, well there we go. It's coming up to Christmas, I believe, for all those that celebrate Christmas. So happy Christmas to you all, and hopefully I'll have another video done after Christmas, and with the hood on, side panels fitted, and the panels around the battery fitted. I'm also going to do a video. I think the next major job is to do a video of the strip down and rebuild of the rear ends, so the hydraulics and the cross shaft, rock shaft assembly. I seem to keep putting it off, I don't know why. But no, we'll get that done. We need something to fill in that big hole at the back. It won't hold the oil as it is. Anyway, Merry Christmas to you all. Okay then, thank you.